Hi friends, today we have with us Vidhi. She is from NOS MBA, Christ University. She's a good friend of mine. She's from Delhi. So one thing which I admire a lot about Vidhi is her energy and time management. So when I say energy, it's not just like some normal person. Okay. I've never seen a very bad day for Vidhi where she's very upset. She'll be always motivating others and she'll be motivating herself. And one more thing about time management, I've never seen Vidhi wasting her time at all. Not only her time, she values even others' time also. She'll be advising people or guiding people to do something extra in their free time. So these are the things which I admire about Vidhi. Welcome to the show, Vidhi.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So from your Vidhi, for people who want to do MBA, as well as, some general tips also we are expecting. And definitely we'll cherish this experience of what we had in last 2 years in this interview. So I like to start with a question like, before joining MBA, we would have had a
Mm,
perception about MBA. Like, by
mm,
doing an MBA, we'll get these things. But
mm,
after now we are about to complete it. So if you could
mm,
share with us, what was your
mm,
initial perception about MBA after
mm,
coming here, learning things? What is your current thought about MBA? What a person can really
mm,
expect out of an MBA?
mm. So, my initial perception about MBA was that it would be full of assignments, projects, a lot of internships, and it would be very hectic. And what I typically imagined assignments would be like in the morning, we get some assignment, and by midnight, we have to submit it. And in a week, probably we get around like 6 7 assignments and we have to submit in a day or two. And when I entered, it was not that hectic. That I felt that I expected it to be, because they gave us for at least a week to complete our
Mm-mm.
assignments. So I think that was a moment what I imagined and what it really came to be. So I managed that. And what one can expect in MBA is a lot of case studies come up, a lot of assignments come up. So these assignments are not based upon just your theory, what you learn in schools or what you learn in your undergraduate. It's also based upon different kind of company and industry scenarios and problems that they face in real life, and how you as a decision maker need to take decisions at what steps or what ideas you have to solve those difficult kind of situations.
Okay. So the next question is, people get stuck in choosing their specialization. After the first
Mm,
year, they end up
mm,
thinking twice about which to choose. I guess, you
mm,
two were there in such situation when you were about to pick either
mm,
HR or operations. So if
mm,
you could give a tip or suggestion for someone how to evaluate
mm.
and choose a specialization which matches them exactly, it will be helpful for them.
Yes. So, for choosing a specialization, firstly, you need to see the entire skill set, what that specialization is asking for, and if you possess that skill set or not. And thirdly, would be that the career option that you're going to get after choosing this specialization, would you like to opt in that for not? Does that interest you or not? So, for example, if let's say I want to get into marketing or sales, so
Mm-mm.
am I a person who's good with negotiation skills? Am I a person who's good with convincing others? If I'm not such a person, I don't possess that skill set, and I know that I cannot do a field job or I cannot travel from one place to another. That is generally in the case of marketing. So
Mm-mm.
probably then it's not made for me. So you need to look at primarily the skill set that the uh, specialization might be asking for, and if you're willing to take up roles that might come up in those specializations. So for example, if you're completely clueless, like on one hand you're thinking, I don't know my skill set, on the other hand I don't know what career option it possesses.
Mm-mm.
So what options that you can choose is, number one, you can talk to seniors in your
Okay.
college or in other colleges. That would be a good option because they can tell you, okay, these are the subjects that we study, these are the career options we get, these are the placements that are offered in the campus. Number two would be to talk to people who are there in the industry. So talk to someone who's in marketing, talk to someone who's in operations, talk to
True,
someone who's
true.
in HR. Get to know what challenges they are facing at the workplace, and if that interests you, if that skill set interests you, then probably you can go forward with it. So these were the two major things that I did as well. So even I was confused between HR and operations, and
Mm-mm.
operations came at the last moment only. HR was something that I wanted to do, and I did all my HR internships as well in my UG. But then again, I gave it a thought, and when it came to choosing a career line, then I didn't really admire for it, like I didn't really opt for it. So that's why I wanted to go for operations, and I was more curious to learn about like new technologies and how the systems, how production works, how
Mm-mm.
manufacturing works. So it was like that curiosity was entering into my mind.
True, true. So most of the people sometimes skip the skill set of them or the career
Hmm.
opportunities. They focus on more
Hmm.
on the CTC. For example, if you take
Yes.
from Christ, finance and marketing are the departments which gets
Hmm.
most companies with highest packages. So some people
Hmm.
end up choosing it and then they regret.
Hmm.
So I think this
Hmm.
suggestion will be very helpful for them to see whether
Hmm.
they like the job, whether they want to
Hmm.
see themselves in that and make a career out of it. So now there
Yes.
are some 10 questions. I just want
Hmm.
to just start with something for others. Now we'll start
Hmm.
about you. So in 2 weeks
Hmm.
time from now, we'll be
Hmm.
having an MBA degree in our name, in our
Hmm.
profile. So
Hmm.
it will be a dream come true because we would have worked for it for
Hmm.
last 2 years. We can say even
Hmm.
before that for a competitive exam, we would have prepared.
Hmm.
So what do you want to
Hmm.
say about this journey? We can start from your
Hmm.
preparation for a competitive exam to get into Christ.
Hmm.
So the entire journey, you
Hmm.
can speak about it.
Okay, so my journey started from giving a lot of competitive exams. Like I gave CAT, MAT, NMAT, and the symbiosis exam, and TIS. And I gave a lot of exams. I actually wanted to get into TIS, which is an HR premier
Mm,
college,
mm, mm.
and I didn't get through that. So I was thinking of various other colleges, and I was completely clueless at that time whether it is HR only or some other specialization, whether I'll actually get a college or not. And there, on the other hand, my parents were thinking, yes, she should get selected in Delhi, and we don't want to send her outside. And then this tension is also coming into place. So you just give exams, and then I got my admission to Christ, and then I was very scared. I've heard that Christ is very strict with discipline, with its
Mm, mm,
protocol, and how they conduct their classes and everything. So I was really scared for it, but things I don't think it is that tough. I think MBA is usually uh, that thing is also there, and that image is there that it is very tough. It is very tough. It's very hectic. But it also depends upon if you actually manage it with your like good extracurricular activities. So I landed up into placement cell, and along with the normal course classes, I was also part of placement cell. So
mm.
coordinating when you meet the corporate people, you interact with them, and along with that, even if you do your assignments, so if you take your assignments as, let's say, you just want that 20 on 20 or you want a 30 on 30, then of course you will find MBA very boring. But yes, if you take that assignment as a as an interesting project, okay, like there was one subject, entrepreneurship, in which we talked about, okay, you need to develop a business idea. So there
True,
you
true.
take it as a challenge or as an initiative or as an innovative thing that you are going to do. Take it as a creative thing that, let's say, if this comes up in corporate, how will I handle this situation? How will I work on it? How will I work in if it was a project given to me? So if that way you work on assignments, one more thing was that extracurricular activities plays a major role. So I participated in farewell, I dance in farewell, I dance on different
Mm.
events. So that also like really motivates you. So
And
yeah, that was
something
the complete journey.
when you say a hobby or an extracurricular activity, it helps us in
Mm.
managing our stress. It will take us out of
Yes.
this hectic schedule and give
Mm.
some break for us.
Mm.
I
Mm.
too kind of seriously believe, even like, when we have our
Mm.
hectic schedule, the videos what I am making gives me a lot of happiness. When someone comes and
Mm.
says to me, this was helpful for
Mm.
them, it makes
Mm.
us feel better. So everyone should
Mm.
have a hobby for sure.
Mm. Yes.
Okay. So in this
For
journey,
sure.
has there
Mm.
someone who has not believed in you or given some negative criticism, maybe during MBA or before
Mm.
MBA?
Mm.
Because sometimes people say, right, it's why for us an
Mm.
MBA, why for us to shift to
Mm.
another place? It will be hectic or
Mm.
difficult for you. So these
Mm.
are the common comments, irrespective of from
Mm.
where we come, we get it. So how do you
Mm.
handle it? How do you overcome it?
Mm. Yes. So initially, when I chose lean operations and systems as my specialization in this course of MBA, I was actually taunted maybe by some of the people. Okay, you're from a non-engineering background, and
Mm-mm.
how come you are entering into a specialization which is especially 95% of the people will be engineers? So yes, I think that really pulled me down at some point of time when I was sitting in classes of maybe, let's say, operations and lean
Mm-mm.
operations management, that I'm not getting what production line, what assembly lines are sir talking
Mm-mm.
about. And somewhere back of the mind, those thoughts were also coming into my mind. But after a certain point, I think it didn't really matter me much. And how I came out of this was by reading a lot of case studies. So if
Okay.
you, it's not that necessarily you read case studies that you get in class only. Of course, that's important. But along with that, I just started searching on YouTube. So I found various
Okay.
different YouTube channels. You can get a lot of case studies related to supply chain, manufacturing, production, automation, new AI technologies that come up into operations. So that's what something that really interested me, and then I started developing interest. So that's how I overcame that entire back feelings that were going
It's
on.
it's like, you have answered two questions. That is like you had started kind of preparing
Yeah.
yourself where you, as you know that you are not strong in this area, you started preparing yourself.
Hmm.
By that, I can
Hmm.
say strongly that
Hmm.
you have achieved, you have a good score, you have a good knowledge in this domain, and
Hmm.
you got a good job. So
Hmm.
obviously, you have answered them
Hmm.
back that even without an engineering background,
Hmm.
people can survey here actually.
People can. Yes.
And one more question I like to ask is people who are freshers or who don't have
Hmm.
experience in maybe operations
Hmm.
directly.
Hmm.
So they
Hmm.
might struggle initially because, as you told, you don't know production line. It's very difficult to
Hmm.
visualize it. So
Hmm.
you kind of manage it, or you can give a tip for someone like I did this because I didn't have
Hmm.
experience. One is case study, what
Hmm.
you told. What are the other ways we can,
Hmm.
without experience, how did you connect to the
Hmm.
concepts? It's very difficult, right? Without experience connecting
Hmm.
to the topics.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. So, what I had as my personal experience was like when I was in Delhi, I was doing my undergraduate, that was BBA. So, we went to the Hero motorcycle industry. So
Okay.
there I saw a lot of bikes, and then we went to Amul industry also and Yakult industry also. So I've already seen those industries, those inside
Okay.
things that are happening. So I think that really helped me
Helped you.
picturizing. Yes, I saw those industries. But again, like talking about freshers who have not probably gone to specific manufacturing industries, and they're facing difficulties. I think, as I mentioned before also, like of course case studies is one thing. The next thing is you can probably read newspapers, and in case you don't like reading newspapers also, you can just talk to people who are in your class. So that's also one of the ways. Let's say maybe somewhere in someone in your class only has worked in manufacturing, so you just go talk to them, and you ask them what's like a normal day at a manufacturing site in your job. So they share your they
True,
usually
true.
share the experiences. So it's not that only one thing. If you don't like case study, go to YouTube. If you don't like YouTube, read newspaper. If you don't like reading newspaper, at least talk to people who are there around you. And I think that really gives a good thought as well, because they have actually gone to the field. They know how it works. They've experienced it. So I think listening to their stories only can actually help you a lot.
Okay. So from
Mm.
here onwards, it's like more of our Christ memories we are going to cherish. So
Mm.
before going into it, I have one question which I want to ask you. I have
Mm.
seen you kind of, you value the time you have very much actually. Maybe you can
Mm.
share with us this part
Mm.
of my life or this journey made me to be, changed me to be very
Mm.
serious about time because I've never seen you wasting
Mm.
time. Whenever you have even 15 minutes of time, you
Mm.
either scroll through
Mm.
Insta to read news or you take a
Mm.
paper and start reading it. What
Mm.
made you, a person like this who who
Mm.
started respecting time more? What is the one thing
Mm.
which you want to say? Praveen, this happened
Mm.
in my life. From this, I have shifted
Mm.
like this.
Yes. So earlier I used to be very addicted with Instagram, and
Hmm.
I used to scroll Instagram for like 3, 4 hours continuously. And I would just be like looking at posts and pictures every time. I would not be doing anything on my phone. And I think that really took a lot of my time. And after that, I'll start getting like a minor headache or something. So that's what when I
Hmm.
realized that yes, Instagram is something that is taking my major part of time. So I can probably just replace it if I want to dance, or probably just instead of that, if I'm so addicted to the phone, I can just probably scroll LinkedIn instead
Okay.
of it. So even if you spend like if you replace your Instagram time with your LinkedIn, you can get to know a lot of articles that are probably published by various kind of CEOs or various kind of people who are there in the industry who are working, maybe some great AI tools you might get to know. You can network with people on LinkedIn. And apart from that, if you want to use more of your phone, you can probably just go to YouTube and watch some interesting videos. So not necessarily related to studies or something, maybe some interesting videos that you like.
True.
So I think, oh yeah, that was one time when I actually tried to shift
So you shifted from, using it for just for
Instagram to LinkedIn.
entertainment to,
Yeah, yeah, to
that's
something else. And it's not just about, you just scrolling LinkedIn all the time also. Like you can simply probably download some Sudoku or some any fun app in your phone and just start, solving it. And sometimes you realize, yeah, it is fun.
yes. I remember you
So,
saying that in Instagram there
mm,
are pages who keep stories, headlines alone they
mm,
used to keep. Sometimes,
mm,
even the platforms where we
mm.
get addicted, we get some
Yes.
information. We can follow such
Information
pages.
as well.
True.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Like even if you're utilizing, like no one says don't use Instagram, but even if you're
Mm,
maybe just scrolling it down for like 25 minutes in a day and just spending those extra 10 minutes to reading something informative that has come up. So I think that goes along well. And plus, it's not just using your phone in your alone time. You dance, you do your
yeah,
hobby,
yeah.
you go for cycling, you go for treks, especially in Bangalore, you go for treks. Like do something apart from your phone and laptop as well.
I can say that is something which is keeping you, very well
Yes.
motivated to do extra things because if you keep
Yes.
on
Mm.
reading or if you keep on looking at
Mm.
mobile, you might get
Mm.
restricted only to it actually. As a
Yes.
person, if you want to do
Mm.
so many things, we need to focus more on
Mm.
our hobby. We get the energy to do
Mm.
extra things actually.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this
Absolutely.
is, let's assume that I have a
Mm.
special power, which I can give it to you.
Mm.
So the
Mm.
power is you can freeze a moment in your life. It can be your
Mm.
favorite memory or it can be anything in
Mm.
your life and you can see it
Mm.
in loop continuously. So if
Mm.
you want to freeze a moment in your life, which moment it
Mm.
will be? And you can say, Praveen, I want to cherish this for my lifetime. As of now, it can be
Mm.
within Christ or outside Christ also.
Mm. So I think it was when I danced in Artista,
Okay.
and when and before that when I danced in Farewell. So these two were the moments that
Okay.
I really want to freeze, go to, and I want to watch again and again.
Okay. So after a few years, maybe 4 or 5 years, if someone says
Mm.
Vidhi, okay, to your
Mm.
friends, how do you
Mm.
want your friends to remember you? Like,
Mm.
whenever they hear your name after a few years down the line,
Mm.
how do you want your friends to
Mm.
remember you?
I think a fun-loving person.
Okay, obviously.
Maybe.
And the other question is a compliment or award which you have kind of received from a faculty within Christ, or it can be anyone from outside also, which you like to
Mm.
share it with us.
So one award that I received was related to a research paper
Okay,
competition. So I had participated in this research paper competition back in my UG, which was related to digital facial recognition in digital payments.
okay,
So there we went, and there were around 45 teams that had participated in that competition, and our paper got published. I was really happy about that. But when our name was announced, like best research paper presenter goes to like my mentor who was there and me. So
okay.
I was literally stunned at that moment. I was like, how we can get the best paper presenter? We are not so much into technical stuff also,
True,
and
true, true.
we had done the paper, but we were not so technically sound as the other presenters were. So this happened
So,
in different university. We went there and
okay.
we won the best research presenter award. So I think I was really really happy at that
It's a
moment.
very good achievement and you can cherish it actually.
Mhm.
Okay. So one more serious question, and with that we can wind
Mm,
it off.
mm,
If you want to thank someone or if you want to say
mm,
sorry to someone, you can use this
mm,
platform who has been part of this journey or whoever can be, it can
mm,
be in your life. You can use this platform to say a
mm,
thank or sorry to someone.
mm. I think I want to say thank you firstly to my class, that's
Okay.
L4, who
Okay.
was actually very, it's very happening class. You'll see all kind of people there from fun to, they'll be like all over laughing each other and it's
Mm,
like a very interactive thing in the class going on. So when I literally shifted from like into third trimester. That's the new
Mm-hmm.
specialization when you begin. I was actually very, scared from inside. How will I adjust to people around me, and how will I make friends? Now already I've made my set of friends in the first and the second trimester. Now again I have to change, but it was so fun loving. Like anything will happen and people will make you laugh. It's very like loving class. So I think it was that, and of course. The entire LOS again, the L3 also, like they also gave a lot of love and interacting with you in the placement cell, and everyone was around. I think it was a great, like especially when seeing Arvind making reels on Instagram,
Yes,
and
yes.
you can proudly say that yeah, this guy is from my specialization, and I know him.
Yeah,
So like
and
not taking credit of him, Arvind, if you're watching this video, not taking credit, but yeah, it gives a great sense of pride, when you know that
so
person,
true.
and that person is entirely famous in college for making videos. So
And
yes, I
sometimes
think
we
that
get to say to
definitely.
people, see, in that corner, a person is standing. That's me actually. That lines also you can get this.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. We had a very good time actually, and it's
Great.
about to end.
Hmm.
And yeah, Vidhi, if you want to say something else for future MBA students or anyone who is writing a competitive exam, and what do you like to say? With that, we can end the video actually.
So, what I would like to say to all the people who are going to end the MBA, right?
No,
Yeah.
for
So, to
them
all the
as
people
well
who are
as yeah. Hmm.
okay, who want to start their journey as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So, for all the people who are going to end their MBA journeys, I think I know a lot of people are worried about uh, offer letters. Number one, when we'll get our offer letters, that's in everyone's mind whether we'll
True,
get
true.
offer letters or not. So I think that one hope is there. Like, of course, you'll get your offer letters,
Mm,
and you'll start your job. And I know it's a big shift from your college to corporate, and other lot of people are experienced as well. So I think it will be a good, fun-loving start where you are scared also, and you are thrilled, excited also for this journey to begin. So I think get more kind of excited feelings, because the more happy you are from inside, the more better you will start with. The more nervous you are, the more probably frightened you are right now, the more you'll be like, okay, how will I start? How will I do this? That will happen. So be joyful, be happy, and go with the flow. See what happens. So this
good,
is the
good.
thing. And for the people who are about to start their MBA journey, people will say it's hectic, it's full of assignments, and but again, saying if you manage it good with if you join some clubs, if you join some committees, go with your extracurricular activities as well, and manage your time well. It's not at all like a big, tough, tedious journey. It's like a good roller coaster ride. You'll enjoy, you'll make friends, you'll party, you'll chill, you'll go on treks in Bangalore, you'll visit various places, you'll go to Wonderla, nicely chill, come. So yeah. So
Yeah,
don't just study, like explore places around you as well.
sure,
That's what
sure,
I feel.
sure.
And do carry a hobby with you. If you don't carry a hobby, then it becomes very monotonous.
I think people would have understood the energy concept, which I gave you an introduction. No, the people who have watched the entire video will accept to me that you are a very energetic and motivated person. So thank you
Hmm.
so much,
Hmm.
Vidhi, for being here. It was very good
Hmm.
speaking with you. I've always admired
Hmm.
that qualities in you. So that's why
Hmm.
when I prepared
Hmm.
what I should say for the introduction, it came top of my
Hmm.
mind. I could have introduced you as a placement coordinator, all that, but I felt more
Hmm.
than that, these two
Hmm.
qualities stand. It's a
Hmm.
very good
Hmm.
qualities. Keep up it.
Hmm.
And I wish you
Hmm.
that, you go for bigger platforms. Okay, in future you give
Hmm.
interviews to bigger
Hmm.
channels. But still,
Hmm.
I'll take the credit of first, interview in my channel. But still, yeah, my
Sure,
best
sure.
wishes for you,
Hmm.
Vidhi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was actually a really good experience.
Cool, Vidhi. Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.